Welcome to the Deep Dive Protocol. I'm your host, Poet Woods. Now, you may have seen my strategies featured on NBC, CBS, and Fox News. But today, we're going deeper than sound bites. As a certified knowledge broker and transformational strategist, I know that success is 80% psychology. But as a Google certified AI performance specialist and an AI generalist, I also know that without the right systems, mindset is just a dream. My mission is to fuse these two worlds. In this episode, I've commissioned my AI intelligence team to deconstruct the code of the top 1%. We're stripping away the noise to reveal the real architecture of success. This isn't just a podcast, it's a reprogramming session. Get ready, because now it's time to think with an entrepreneur's mind. The protocol begins now.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. You, the listener, sent us a really fascinating and dense stack of sources this week. It's a complete blueprint for an entrepreneurial ecosystem, all centered on this figure, Poet Woods III. And it's all about, well, mind reprogramming and tech automation.
It's way more than just a collection of courses, though. What we're looking at is a fully, vertically integrated platform. They call it human optimization and business acceleration.
Right.
So we're digging into material that blends deep psychological work with proprietary AI marketing tools and some very unconventional business strategies.
That's a tall order. So our mission today is to decode this convergence. We need to unpack how Woods, who the material calls an edutainer, an Imagineer.
Knowledge broker to
Knowledge broker, right. How he connects this intense inner work with, cutting-edge external tech. The sources mention his background, Google Ads certifications, generative AI mastermind.
And that KKB mastermind, which is linked to Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi.
So we're definitely at the intersection of high-level marketing, psychology, and scalable tech.
And the framework for all of this, the thing that holds it together, is what the sources call the ETAC model.
ETAC. Okay, break that down.
It's a process. It stands for edutainment, transformational, entrepreneurial, and then consulting or coaching.
So it's a sequence.
Exactly. The edutainment part, that hooks you. It gets and holds your attention. Then they use that attention for the transformational work to, shift your identity.
And only after that identity shift happens can you move on to the actual business execution.
Right. The entrepreneurial framework and the coaching only work if the transformation part is solid. It's a closed loop system where who you are comes before what you do.
So the big question is how this system harmonizes that inner world, they call it the M.O.M system, with the outer success you're trying to get with, say, AI automation.
It's all about bridging that gap between self-help and real quantifiable results. The whole premise is that your marketing, your tech, all of it, it's destined to fail if the inner architecture isn't right.
You can't put high-performance fuel into an engine that's built on scarcity.
You got it.
Okay. Let's start with that engine then. We're diving into section 1. The cognitive engine, all driven by this M.O.M system, that stands for mind over matter, the subconscious advantage.
Right, and to really get why this is so important, you have to understand the duality of the mind, which they explain with this really powerful ship analogy.
Yes, the ship. So if your mind is a giant ship, your conscious mind, that's the captain.
Yep, logical, reads the charts, makes the decisions.
And this is the key, it only accounts for about 5% of your daily brain function.
A tiny fraction. Meanwhile, the subconscious mind, that's the entire crew. They handle everything else. Execution, automation, all the stuff that happens without you thinking about it. 95% of brain function.
So the conflict, the problem, is when the captain gives an order like, I want to be wealthy, but the crew...
The crew just says no. Because the crew, the subconscious, is running on old programming, old beliefs from childhood about scarcity or maybe past failures.
So the captain says, sail north. But the crew is programmed to think north is dangerous, so they just drag the anchor. Self-sabotage.
Exactly. So the whole trick is learning to speak the crew's language because it completely ignores logic.
What does it understand then?
The sources were super clear on this. The subconscious has a programming language of just 3 things: repetition, emotion, and symbols.
Okay.
And all the techniques they teach, autosuggestion, visualization, the law of belief, they're all designed to pull those 3 levers.
Let's start with autosuggestion. This is more than just, saying positive things to yourself in the mirror.
Much more. The M.O.M system is very specific. The affirmations have to be clear, positive, And this is critical in the present tense. I am operating a successful company, not I hope to.
And the timing is key, too.
Timing is everything. You have to do the first few minutes after you wake up and the last few minutes before you sleep.
Why then specifically?
Because that's when your brain naturally enters the alpha brainwave state.
For anyone who doesn't know, what's a simple way to think about the alpha state?
Think of it as a hypnotic bridge. When you're wide awake, you're in beta. Your critical, conscious mind, the captain, is on high alert, rejecting new ideas.
Yeah.
The alpha state is more relaxed, almost meditative. It lowers the guard of the captain, which means the crew, your subconscious, is way more open to that new programming. The affirmations can sink in as fact.
That makes sense. And that leads us to visualization, which they call mental movies. So it's not just a vision board.
Not at all. This is full-on immersive neurotraining. You are literally scripting a short film of your success in your head. And the key technique is something they call sensory stacking.
Sensory stacking.
Meaning you have to engage all 5 senses. What do you see in that movie? What does that congratulatory phone call sound like? What does the leather in your new car smell like? What does the handshake feel like?
And by stacking all those senses with emotion, the idea is that the subconscious mind can't tell the difference between the visualization and a real memory.
Precisely. If the crew feels the joy and relief of already having achieved the goal, that emotional signature is all the proof it needs to start making it happen.
It's designed to sound very scientific, almost like forensic neuroprogramming.
It is.
But let's get practical with the law of belief. They define beliefs as just confirmed thoughts. So if I have limiting confirmed thought, how do I actually change it?
This is where the real work comes in. Let's take a classic one. I'm not good at public speaking.
Okay.
The M.O.M process makes you act like a lawyer. You don't just deny the belief. You have to treat it like a false conviction and find evidence to overturn it in the court of your mind.
So you audit the belief.
You find contradicting evidence. You have to list every single time you gave a good toast, or led a meeting, or even just explain something well to a friend. You use those small wins to withdraw confirmation from the negative thought and reinvest it in the positive one.
Until the new belief becomes the confirmed thought.
You got it.
Okay, so we've reprogrammed the subconscious, but keeping that momentum going is a whole other challenge. This brings us to section 2. Mindset and momentum. And it kicks off with this really specific distinction between joy and fun.
Yeah, and this is critical for avoiding burnout.
Yeah.
The material defines fun as transient and external. It's like dessert or binge watching a show.
It's an escape, something you consume.
Exactly, and you have to keep refilling it. But joy is defined as residual, internal, and generative. It's like food and water.
It comes from knowing your life has worth, that you're contributing.
Right. And the strategy here is you have to learn to extract joy from the process, from the daily climb, not just from reaching the summit. If you wait for the goal to feel joy, the whole journey just becomes suffering.
And they apply this reframing to stress, too, with the diamond formation metaphor. I thought this was a brilliant way to look at it.
It completely reframes stress. Instead of a destroyer, it becomes a creator. I mean, diamonds need insane pressure and heat.
Yeah, something like 2,200 degrees over billions of years.
So the system teaches you that the pressure and heat you feel, that's not failure. Those are the necessary conditions for you to shine like a living jewel.
So when things get tough, that pressure is just the market creating the conditions for real value. You're not being crushed, you're being formed.
And you need that perspective, because the goal here is to become anti-typically extraordinary. The program is blunt about it. Less than 10% of people who start anything actually see it through.
So if you want the results the other 90% don't get, you have to adopt an anti-typical identity.
You have to. Which leads to this core reframe about your personal history. Stop being a victim of your past.
And become a positive product of a powerful past.
This is where it gets really powerful. You can't change the facts of what happened. A business failure, a setback. But you can, today, change the meaning of those events.
So that failure isn't a scar that limits you anymore.
No. It's now the tuition you paid for the wisdom you needed for your future success. You get to decide what it means.
That's a huge identity shift. And to maintain that, they stress purpose over a plan.
A plan is just a strategy. It can change. It'll motivate you for a little while.
Right.
But purpose is your unwavering motive. It can sustain you for a lifetime.
It reminds me of that saying, people who know how will always work for people who know why.
That's it, exactly. Purpose is the ultimate WHY.
And finally, to protect all this inner work, you have to be ruthless about your associations.
Absolutely. The whole average of the 5 people you hang around thing, they offer a simple test for this.
What's that?
When you share a big, scary, anti-typical goal with someone, just listen to their immediate response. If they say, "Are you serious? Do you really think you can do that?"
That's a red flag.
It's a huge red flag. That skepticism is just them projecting their own limits onto you. You need people who hear your big goal and treat it like it's inevitable.
Okay, that covers the inner work. Now let's pivot. Section 3, the external layer. This is where the tech comes in, the business acceleration tools.
Right, this is the infrastructure from An Entrepreneur's Mind LLC, where you combine that new mindset with AI and automation to really scale.
Let's start with the AI social media management. The value proposition here is, well, it's huge. They're claiming a monthly value of $16,000 up to $38,000 plus.
It's a massive range.
How does an average user get to the high end of that? Is that even realistic?
It's based on 3 things. Save costs, so replacing a social media team, increased efficiency, so spending less time on content, and most importantly, new revenue from rapid, targeted content testing. For the entrepreneur who's ready to scale, it's all about leverage without the huge payroll.
And you need that leverage. The sources cite a 2024 stat that 58% of consumers discover new businesses on social media.
If you're slow, you're invisible, which leads to the next step, automating the sales process with the AI sales force.
Tell us about these strategic chat AI appointment bots.
So this is basically a 247 digital salesperson. It trains itself on your entire website, your documents, everything.
And it can answer most questions.
About 80% of the routine ones, yeah. But its main job is to book qualified appointments, which pulls the founder out of that initial loop. It supports that McKinsey finding that AI-driven companies are 50% more productive.
You're creating non-stop, perfect execution.
Exactly.
Now, beyond organic growth, the system focuses a lot on acquisition, basically skipping the startup lottery where 90% fail.
2 main paths here. First is the Dirty Dollars OS for automated land flipping. No houses, no tenants, just raw land.
And it uses a proprietary 40% formula calculator. What's the strategy behind buying land at 40% of retail?
It's a mechanism for instant equity. The strategy relies on finding motivated sellers, analyzing tax liens, things like that. The software helps automate finding those markets. The 40% rule ensures you have this massive equity cushion from day one.
And the second path is buying existing profitable businesses for $0 out of pocket.
This is the really advanced move. You learn how to use seller financing. So you pay the current owner using the business's own future profits.
So you bypass the whole risk of a startup and acquire cash flow immediately.
Yep. They frame it as studying the trillion-dollar man, not just another hustle guru.
And we should probably mention the other integrated tech, too.
Absolutely. There's interactive video tech that they claim boosts conversions by up to 83%. And Woods' connection to wellness brands like Live Good and Snap with their Snap Pack supplements.
So health optimization is built right in. Physical energy supports mental performance.
It's all connected.
So what does this all mean when you put it together? We have the deep inner work of M.O.M. and the external automation through AI.
It means the system is designed to create a self-fulfilling loop. You're reverse engineering your inner belief into tangible, outer economic achievement. The goal is to get paid for who you are, for your new high-value identity, not just for what you do.
Because task-based effort just leads to burnout.
Exactly.
It makes sense. Success isn't chased, it's attracted. You attract it by becoming an attractive person from the inside out.
And your ability to achieve those big goals, it comes from moving past merely wanting something to truly expecting it.
And you only earn that expectation when your daily actions are aligned with your purpose.
If they're not, you just want it. If they are, you have every right to expect it.
Which leaves us with a final provocative thought from all this. We can't change the events of our past, but we can change their meaning today. And that choice determines if we're a victim or a positive product of our history. So if you're listening right now, ask yourself, what past failure, what setback can you choose to redefine today as the necessary tuition you paid for the success you are building right now? Stay focused, and as always, straight ahead.
The transmission ends here, but the construction project is just beginning. Now, I've told you to go get the blueprint, but you need to understand, I'm not just sending you there to download a PDF. I'm sending you to the armory. The blueprint is the central command station for an entrepreneur's mind. When you step inside, you aren't just getting scripts. you're getting access to the full scope of my agency's heavy artillery. The AI appointment bots to clone your sales team and book calls while you sleep. The interactive video engines that turn passive viewers into active buyers. The Dirty Dollars OS to automate your access acquisition. And even the legal architectures and biohacking fuel you need to protect and power your empire. And so much more. We have the tech, the strategy, the protection, and the protocol. It's all waiting for you behind one door. Go to anentrepreneursmind.com/blueprint. Stop playing with the pieces of the puzzle. Come get the whole picture. Initiate the protocol. I'll see you on the inside. Stay focused, and as always, straight ahead.